Hi guys, so I'm the face behind All That Glitters, and I wanted to show a tutorial of how I do my foundation. I'm going to start off with Revlon Color Stay Whipped. I like the coverage, so it's what I use as my base for foundation. I usually just use my fingers, that way I have more control of where it goes. The good part about this foundation is it doesn't take a whole lot. Just a little bit goes a long ways, which helps because good foundation tends to be a little spendy too. So I start up on my forehead, just dabbing it and then rubbing it in. Hopefully you can already see that the breakout spots on my face are a lot less noticeable. Also, an upside to using this as my foundation. I like to blend it into the hairline. That way it looks more natural. I tend to have kind of dry skin, so when it comes to like my nose, for instance, where I get a lot of dry spots, instead of rubbing it in like I do everywhere else on my face, I usually just dab until it's blended in. That way if there's any dry spots it doesn't end up all raised and funny looking. Alright, something that I find really annoying with some people is they forget to wrap it around underneath the jawline. A lot of times us girls want to look really tan, and so especially if you're using a foundation that doesn't quite match your skin tone, you really want to wrap it under the chin. That way when you turn your head and whatnot, then not everybody gets to see how mismatched your foundation is to your skin tone. Another important thing is picking the right foundation. Because I know for me personally, I have to get one that's not very oily, because my skin's oily, and that doesn't dry out my skin that much. That way I can wear it all day and not look like I have had it on all day. Alright, so there's my liquid foundation. Sorry, I'm catching a cold, so it sounds kind of gross. Alright, the next thing I like to do is concealer. I use Palladio, and I'm just going to run this under my eyes and then blend it in. I like this stuff too because, yet again, you don't have to use a whole lot to get the job done. Then you just want to blend that into the foundation that you already have on. Something else that I find that helps is my concealer's not quite my skin tone, so it's a lot easier if I just take a little bit of my foundation and rub that over the top. That way you can blend it together. Makes it less noticeable than wearing two different shades. Alright, now that fixes some of the dark circles. The next thing I like to do is I set my liquid foundation with L'Oreal True Match. It's a powder foundation. It's really sheer, and so you don't get a whole lot of the like cakey look. I use a giant fluffy brush, and I just dab that on the top. I don't need a whole lot, I just want it to set enough that it doesn't look creamy, and I can get my blush on there and not have it look like a bunch of lines. So, as you can see, I'm just dusting it over everywhere that I put the other foundation. This one is W1 Porcelain, which does not at all match the liquid foundation, but because it's lighter, it goes on sheer and you can't really see it, just sets things. Alright, the next thing I do is I take my blush. This is a peachy pink, which for me looks good with my skin tone because I'm so fair, and I just dab my little brush on there, and at first I blot it on my cheekbones until it's the color that I want, dust off the extra, and then I do circles to blend. See, and I blend it all the way up to the hairline, that way it looks more like a natural blush. And then I will do the same to the other side. Alright, once you have it blended the way you want it, my next step for my face makeup is to take Revlon Color Stay Finishing Powder. And basically what this is a highlighter. Really shimmery, catches the light really well, and this one is pink and white. And what I do is I take that same brush that I just used for my blush, and anywhere the sun hits is where you're going to want to put it. So I put it top of my cheekbones, like right where the top of my blush is, a little bit down my nose, a little bit on my chin, forehead, and I usually take my finger at this point, and a little bit on the cupid's bow. Alright, there is how I do my foundation every day. Thanks for watching.